rhyming stuff, Phil, you wouldn't understand.
Oh!
This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Birch, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all.
This is a world of Capes and Lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Dragon personal business online. Oh, hey, you don't think I ever role played in high school? Come on.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying nothing.
Inside. So sorry, Charlie.
I'm just saying maybe you didn't play the White Wolf games, and that's what the cool kids played. So
I played the Marvel.
You're over there at TSR with the nerds, man.
Marvel.
That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, well,
the Marvel Champions gameplay style was ridiculous. They had a limit on the Hulk. The Hulk has to be a character that is a Tiamat level character. You can't one punch the Hulk. I'm sorry. Sorry, Philip.
If you couldn't tell, this is the newest episode of the Capes and Lunatics.
Emphasis on the Lunatics.
An hour later, so Charlie Esser is a few apple juices deep. Episode 167, 2 more weeks.
Get ready.
Anyway, yes, I am Phil. That voice you heard in New Jersey is
Charlie, the Professor Esser.
And now
laying the wisdom down.
Now that the tropical storms have let up, joining us from back in the 20th and the 21st century, it is.
Hey y'all, it is Lil Hellfire. And just to get us started, let me catch up with Charlie.
You had the time to do the work before you got here, Lilith. That's all I'm saying.
I just want to let everybody know what they're in for. I like to give a warning.
I just wanted to do the crack on Mike for the walls. If you're not on camera, Lilith, you can put a logo up. You should just put a beer can or something up.
If you tell me how to do it, I'll
okay.
Do it.
Well,
yeah.
For
and to be fair, I don't. Let's not forget, this is technically a family podcast, Philip.
Oh, a picture of apple juice. My fault.
We don't want Master Doom coming down upon us like so many Doom Sentinels filled with Letvarian mutants.
What did you say?
Yeah.
I said something.
That's my shit, Charlie.
But anyway, yes, we've been getting news from our virtual San Diego Comic-Con.
Which I think all the Comic-Cons should be like that from here on out. I'm so here for it. It's so draining. You have to rub elbows. It's just a mess. Like, I guess I've been one too many times.
What the?
So that's probably my privilege speaking, but I'm over it.
I'm going to tell you right now, I go to Constellation 2020 right now, which is I love. I even had to put a post because one of my posts in Constellation got like a bunch of reply. I made a very controversial statement, which was that I felt that of late the Doctor Who's have been too pretty, and like I think we've gotten away from more bug-eyed, silly-looking doctors, and I think that loses something.
They're all British, so they're not attractive anyway. Bird. What are you talking about?
No.
Bird.
I'm sorry, David Tennant is a very pretty man.
For a British guy?
Eccleston is gorgeous. Eccleston is manly man gorgeous.
We don't skip 9 in this house.
Smith.
No heartthrob, he is not.
The
entire
UK, that's at Lilith Hellfire on Twitter.
Yeah, tea drinking nerds. Go put your kettle on and leave me alone.
Phil was ready to have a tea party.
Hot salad water. Anyway.
But yeah.
We dumped that in the ocean in this country, my friend.
All right, I know nobody else here really watches Walking Dead, but they finally announced our season 10 finale is that was supposed to come in April, I think. It's finally going to be here October 4th.
That show's still on?
Yeah,
Right?
You're waiting for a season 10 finale, buddy.
I'm sorry. I literally thought that ended like a year ago, and they were doing like Fear the Walking Dead now, the prequel.
No.
No, I know that's still there, but I thought like sort of like how when they ended Law and Order, but they still had SVU going on. I didn't realize.
Charlie, they're gonna milk that cow. They're gonna beat that dead horse.
Charlie Esser. I mean,
they're gonna make movies that nobody's gonna go see.
I mean,
sorry, Marnell. Sorry, Diane.
It's AMC, and the ratings have dropped a little bit, but I think they still get maybe 10 million people. So
no. I'm sure it's still a popular franchise. My actual point was I thought they had transferred to a different, just like Law and Order. It's like Law and Order's still on. It's Law and Order SVU now.
Yeah.
But that original round of Law and Order, after it had gone for 20, 25, 30 years, they said, you know what, we're done with that. Let's focus on these cops because the sex crimes.
Because they're younger and they're hotter, and the topics are more salacious. Speaking of which, what a nice segue. I saw a little something that Phil sent about Mariska Hargitay and Chris Maloney canoodling to celebrate.
Oh my gosh, our fan theories come to life. Mariska and Maloney.
No, well, he's got his own SVU spinoff coming, and I think it was to bury the hatchet because there was a lot of nasty rumors when he left and everything, and it's just nice to see them bury the hatchet, even if it's just for show. Come on, those were my partners. Olivia has not been the same since freaking Stabler left, and I don't like any of the new people. Ice-T needs to retire because Munch is gone, so he doesn't need to be there either. Okay, there, I said it.
Dare you?
I have hot takes on SVU.
Well, they can't bring Anthony Anderson for that role anymore because he's got his own job now. I was going to say, they could replace Ice-T with Anthony Anderson. That's a good mix.
I was going to say, if they're not going to give Papa West nothing to do on The Flash, he can come back to the franchise.
Well, see, we got to bring Green back as the captain. That's the thing.
Is he still alive? You got to
take Hargitay out. Yeah.
I don't know. See, that's the thing, because the show ran for so long. I'm always scared to Google people from the Law and Order franchise. I don't want to be sad.
Well, if you're gonna pry that job out of Ice-T's cold dead hand,
Yeah, no, that's he's got kids now. So
he knows what he
is. His kids are as old as I am. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the ones we know about. Honestly, I'm sorry, and not for nothing. Coca's a very attractive woman.
Let him go back on a tour. We need more Ice-T music. I don't need any more Ice-T SVU episodes. With him grappling with his gay son. I'm over it. It's 2020. I don't want to see that storyline no more.
I mean,
goodbye, Ice-T.
I mean, the season ended early. He's been in quarantine. Maybe he's been recording music in his house, Lil. Now.
Go back on tour whenever we can. Just get Ice-T off.
I'm going to put this out there.
There you go.
Look. Okay, let me just say this, just because this is going to tie back to our Capes and Lunatics episode about Lando Calrissian and bringing Billy Dean Williams back to narrate the adventures of just like sort of a young Indiana Jones kind of a thing, young Lando and old Billy D, and Billy D's just basically sitting around in the Republic, just telling the stories of how he became Lando Calrissian, the legend, the man that met the legend. Yeah. And, I kind of feel like, and I'm going to say this for all rock stars, and I do count rap as rock and roll in its own way. I think that you're kind of better off being that old guard, sitting back and telling the stories, not necessarily making new content. Not for nothing, can you tell me the best Rolling Stones song from the 21st century? Because they're still making new albums.
And it's not my bag.
Yeah, well, not anyone's. Honestly,
I say My Chemical Romance, Backstreet Boys.
Well, yeah, but those guys aren't old yet. They're
old. Oh, they're old. They might not be 90. What is
Richard smoking? Lazarus Pit juice?
I'm just saying Ice-T is from, the 80s. He's from the Reagan era. Okay?
Like all good things.
When you were a little person, Ice-T was already an established superstar. And granted, that doesn't mean he's
Superstar
Rolling Stone, because that's really 20 years.
If that's a loose, generous title, I will. That was a loose, generous title.
I'm just saying, the man needs to enjoy his retirement and tell great stories by the fire. That is his job now.
My whole point is just he can do whatever he wants, but I just preferred if it was not SVU.
Okay.
That's all.
Fair enough. I mean,
Are you even watching new episodes of Hellfire?
I haven't watched a new episode since. Honest to God, I think it's since Craig and left.
Then how are you gonna?
Because I was tired of him then. That's what. Oh no, when Munch left. No, when he got his sergeant's degree or whatever.
Okay.
Named sergeant. That's the last episode I watched.
Well, with everyone else gone, Ice-T has stepped up as Benson's second in command.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, the way these things are syndicated, I have no idea if I'm watching a new episode or an episode that aired.
You have to watch the hairstyles. It's like keeping up with the Kardashians. You just have to say, okay, this Kim's
I don't keep up with them.
Well, I'm just saying that's how.
By the way, can we say that Kim needs to she needs to take a time out with her husband?
Another generous title. Whatever. I'm
just saying, no, I believe those two have true love. Do not spoil. That's my Chuck and Die. Okay? I believe there is true love and fairy tale romance there. And yes, I know the irony of saying Chuck and Die when talking about true love and fairy tale romance, but still, I want those two to find happiness.
I want Kanye to find happiness and mental stability.
Yes, well, that's part of happiness.
And it doesn't seem like that's where it's at. That's just my thing.
We are not talking about comic books at all today.
It's pop culture. We're capes and we're lunatics. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. And
there's not much news.
That does fit Kanye into that field.
Well, he's running. Y'all can't see my air quotes, but he's running for president.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I can see him as a Trump pawn to pull votes from Biden. I can see it.
I guess after the last couple of years, anyone can do it.
I mean, I'd rather see Flavor Flav run at this point, but
what?
Have Bridget Nielsen be his vice president. I don't care at this point. Anything's better. This is a circus.
Okay.
No Little John. Although Little John is actually pretty intelligent, so.
Actually, he is. He's quite well read.
Quite well-rounded and well accomplished. So I vote for him.
Yeah, I mean,
over Kanye anyway.
Yeah, well, if they're president of music, then yes. This is the president of the United States, so we kind of have
I don't know. Our bar has been pretty low.
Oh no, the bar has been lowering for years. No argument there.
It was we got a little elevation, and then we immediately literally doubled down on that. Like, nope, no more of that.
Yeah,
So America.
I mean, you got Reagan, Clinton, Bush, Obama. It's kind of like a COVID spike where it goes down, then goes up. And but now up in a different way that's not as good. Anyway.
All right, but back to the news. Something
Guess what else? New Mutants? Are we gonna try to wait?
I was gonna try to wait for Tyler, but well, they did announce. I was gonna say first, Spider-Man 3 has been put. Well, it was pushed back to November 2021 originally. Now it's pushed back to December 2021. I guess to try to.
It better not come out on my birthday. I don't need a travesty of mass proportions on my birthday weekend.
I think they're more trying for like a Christmas type, Christmas time movie,
Oh, that means they gotta shove a Christmas story into it.
Do they?
No, it could just be a story that happens during Christmas. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Christmas story.
That makes it a Christmas story, Lilith.
Oh, so Shazam is a Christmas movie. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But you tried to argue with me that Shazam wasn't a Christmas movie.
Die Hard.
Who tried to say that Shazam isn't a Christmas movie?
Play the tape back. I forget what episode that was. It was about 20 episodes ago. But...
Does Christmas occur? Here's the thing: it's like unless it's a film about Jewish people and Hanukkah was in at Thanksgiving time, then you can't really say that it's not a Christmas movie if Christmas isn't a part of it. It's like if there's a moment that is tied to the idea that there's going to be a Christmas, then
that's my point. I don't know. Maybe it was the apple juice. I don't know, but
I mean, like you could do a pass on Home Alone just because everyone is separated. So in that sense, there is no Christmas anticipation. But like when you look at Die Hard, it is centralized in the idea that there is a Christmas party. But then again, you can argue that that is not central to the plot. So in there you get a little more gray area, but you could say that the plot could not have gone forward without the Christmas thought.
Is Iron Man 3 a Christmas movie?
Yes, that is entirely a Christmas movie.
A movie?
Well, I mean, it is. First off, Iron Man 3 is as schmaltzy as any Christmas movie you're ever going to watch. So, yes,
more than Thor: The Dark World. It is.
Oh, what I will tell you is, don't talk about Thor: The Dark World. I thought that was the Marvel fan rule.
Iron Man 3 is about a bunch of toys coming to save the day. So you're going to tell me that's not a Christmas movie?
Too many remote control armors. Oh my god!
Not enough remote control armors.
Inspired him. Okay, blame
not for nothing. I think that's the whole problem with Ultron. Not enough diversity in the Iron Legion. Made every Iron Legion person be exactly the same. That's going to cause you problems.
Are they going to say those drones were all one color? Okay.
Well, I mean, however you want to interpret it, but they could have used a big drone, a small drone, a medium drone,
an ample drone,
an ample American drone. And yes, and for what it's worth, all of the iron armors had different color schemes. There were the red and golds, there were some blue and whites, there was some blue and silvers, some red and silvers. You had a mix.
It was Tony Stark. He got lazy. He made one design and then he threw it into the computer, and then they just started fabricating.
Yeah, and see, and that lazy workmanship, that's what led to Ultron.
And that's why he was no Howard Stark.
Oh.
I mean, y'all know
Howard Stark put tail fins on that flying car, man. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I love that meme. Go ahead and ask him, Bucky. Where's my flying car? Your dad promised us. I was like, Harley did it better, but it's fine.
Yes, well. Oh, hey, can we talk about HBO not knowing what the heck it's doing right now?
Yes. Here comes the portion of the podcast where we dump on Warner Media. Take a drink of your favorite drink. And go, Charlie.
So I got like that little flip flop on my phone because you get the notification on your phone that says, "Hey, on July 31st, your HBO Max subscription ends." I'm like, "What? Why? I pay for HBO." They're like they give you a link that you can't click on. So to find out more, click on
what's that spam?
This weird like .bo/ something website. But it's it takes you to the HBO page, so it opens up HBO Max. But you can't click the link because it's Warner Media, but then I have to type it in, and it takes you to the HBO Max site, which says, well, if you already are paying for HBO, which I do because it's part of my package, you'll keep HBO Max no problem. So it's like, what are you doing, HBO?
I thought they gave people a year's free trial for most people that do have the free trials, not 90 days.
Well, my understanding is if you are paying for HBO, you have HBO.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it's giving you that alert. It's weird. Well, they don't have their stuff together. It's fine.
Yeah, well, no, and not only that, it's like I have AT&T, I have HBO, I have AT&T TV with HBO included. How are you going to take away my HBO Max? You won't let me throw it on the TV. I got to watch it on my phone. You're going to take this away from me? And you think this is good customer service?
Did they do that?
AT&T, Time Warner Media. If you need somebody to make you an app, you know where to find it.
Do you think they did that just because, you can't watch it on half the devices in the world? So they're like, hey, remember, we're still here. A lot of you aren't watching. We're still here.
Probably. And it just backfired and annoyed everybody.
I'm just saying, it's like, good God, y'all. I am. And no, I haven't watched the latest Doom Patrol yet, which is again, it's one of these things. It's like I'm watching Perry Mason. Perry Mason is amazing.
Are you talking about the old Perry Mason, or?
Well, no, this is the Perry. This is like the secret untold origin story of Perry Mason, and it is riveting and cool and interesting in so many ways. It is. This is what I said. You can really see if you're a fan of Perry Mason. So here's the thing. So if you're a fan of Perry Mason, and you don't mind the idea that Perry Mason has sex with people,
definitely not for the original demographic of Perry Mason, I don't think.
I'm sorry. Contrary to popular belief, people had sex in the 50s, the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I know that. I'll say this. I know my mom loved Perry Mason. My mom had sex. So I'm going to say that there's a whole demographic of people.
The proof sits before us.
More than once, because I'm the youngest. That's all I'm saying. But, the new Perry Mason is really great. And you can see how the actor who's playing Perry Mason really becomes the lawyer we know from the later stories. Because Perry Mason was, and I was like, did he used to be a PI? And then like, oh no. I actually drove me to do research into the Perry Mason character. It's like, no, he was always a lawyer. I don't know if it was ever mentioned that he was a PI, but they've actually sewed up all the holes in the plot so that when you come back and you think, oh, this is the prequel. It's just set in a time when the Perry Mason story started.
Oh, wait, why am I excited? I was a Matlock person, not a Perry Mason person. My fault.
Never mind. Matlock's cool too. Don't get me wrong. I love Matlock.
Can we get a Murder, She Wrote prequel? Now that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Where is my Murder CBS All Access? Where is my Murder, She Wrote prequel?
Is Angela Lansbury dead yet? I'm just.
I don't want to Google it because I
I don't want to be rude about it, but if they're still alive, you got to do an old Lando Calrissian story there.
Well, no, she gets to pass the torch. You see.
Well, yeah.
We started off the episode with I remember before I started writing mysteries.
Well, that's the old Lando Calrissian. It's like that's what we want. Is we want it. First, Billy Williams. He's very much alive. He'll live with another 20, 40, 50 years. We love this guy. And don't you hate me for my Lando Calrissian love and my Billy D. Williams love, okay?
She's still alive.
I drink Schlitz, okay? So don't even get me.
Oh, she's 94 though, guys. We gotta hurry.
Well, gotta hurry. But what I'm gonna say is, I would love to see the young Jessica Fletcher story.
Yes, because she was BAMF as an old lady, so them young tales. She was definitely getting into things.
I'd love to see the story of young Jessica Fletcher, and I'll tell you, Angela Lansbury, I'm sure would love to do the press for the young Jessica Fletchers. Honestly, at 94, she may not want to do a young Jessica Fletcher story, even as the voiceover. But you might say, I would love to do the press for that. I would love to say, I endorse this. I love this. This is great.
She has a granddaughter that kind of sort of resembles her.
Well, there you go. Hey, it worked for young Sheldon getting Laurie Metcalf's daughter in the role.
Oh, but she's like my age, so yeah, we could still do that, I guess.
Laurie Metcalf's daughter or Angela Lansbury?
Granddaughter, yeah.
Honestly, I as far as I know, you're still a young, vibrant human being, Lilith. So I would.
Maybe
that's not what the advertising.
No. That you are a curmudgeon is unrelated to your youth and vibrance. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe she hasn't consumed as much apple juice as Little Hellfire.
Maybe.
Anyway, but what I'm saying is, I would love to see a young Angela Lansbury. And for what it's worth, they did that with what's her name? The other old lady who wrote Ms. Marple. Where when you get to the new Ms. Marple mysteries, and now she's like a hot lesbian who drives a roadster. Does no one watch Masterpiece Mystery but me?
I guess it's only you, buddy.
Okay. Ms. Marple is an awesome hot lesbian solving crimes now, and I love that. I don't know if she's a lesbian. She may not be a lesbian.
Yo, man.
I love how I got crap for. You still watch Walking Dead? That's still on the air?
Hey, first off, it says masterpiece mystery. Okay? So clearly, it was a masterpiece before I got there. Meaning it's going to be around long after the lesser pieces are long forgotten.
And this is why Comic-Con should exist, so that we'd actually have something to talk about.
Yes. Well, but that's like I said, I think the online cons are really fun. I think people are getting a lot of socialization with them. And what's great is that if you want to do cosplay, you can actually take your best shot of your cosplay and post that.
That's not what cosplay is all about. It's about the sweaty, slumping around in your sweaty cosplay and just, being a trooper. That's that, and commiserating with fellow nerds, elbow to elbow, and getting freaking taco sauce over your favorite cosplay and looking for club soda. That's what it's about.
How about no?
But
anyway,
Lilith, you brought it up last week. I finally watched some. I think there might have been 2 trailers for The Boys season 2.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, September 4th.
Finally, some new content. I'm thirsty for it, bro.
There's my drop.
I'm ready. Just gimme.
That new character Stormfront looks interesting.
Yay, Nazis! Oh.
She was just like, what was she like streaming on her phone? She's like, oh hey, look, they're filming this commercial. Look how fake it is.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it's going to be? This is the thing that annoys me about it, is they're not going to make her quite so Nazi-ish. They're going to be like, oh, no, she's like a Magneto. I'm a super being. That's why I'm a Nazi. I hate all people equally because you're not superhuman like me. And we're just like, no, she's a Nazi. She's a freaking Nazi. And like, she should be.
And you know what happens to Nazis? And they won't, they're not opposed to punching women in the face on The Boys. So.
I mean, unless she like
it's
turns
meant
out
to look like an Iron Cross. I'll talk about you about that.
Unless he turns out to be like the female version of Homelander or something,
Well, I mean, yeah, but Homelander's an American Nazi.
It's a Nazi, yeah. Homegrown.
Well, the idea is that there is a man. This is going to get awkward. You can do a. Yeah, there's no way to do this. You can't do it. Yeah, no. He's a Nazi. He's a Nazi too. But no, what I'll actually say is what I'll say is Homelander is an exceptionalist, of which he's the most exceptional. And that is, I think that's what they're going to do with Stormfront. Yeah, you can have it. Just don't make a mess. They're going to make Stormfront an exceptionalist rather than a Nazi. And there is a subtle difference because an exceptionalist can accept other people who are also exceptional of the group. They've actually kind of made, and that's the thing. But I think Stormfront is supposed to be a straight up Nazi, meaning that even if you're a superpowered being who does not meet the genetic quotient of whatever it is that she sees, But I think she's probably going to get her butt handed to her by. No, because you're going to make them friends in the end. It's going to be... This is
the thing about Garth Ennis. He hates superheroes, so he definitely likes to subvert expectations. So I'm not really worried about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unless they start, unless they get a superhuman civil war and Billy.
No, they're not going to be corny like that. See, that's why I like The Boys. Like I said,
I just mean if they're like fighting amongst themselves and Billy Butcher and the boys are like, oh, now's our chance.
Yeah. See,
I'm excited.
To be fair, you almost have it where Billy Butcher's the bad guy, where he's like, where they've almost cast. Well, I mean, really, where you actually look at it, it's like, oh, they kind of cast him as what's his name, the senator, not Senator Stern, although Senator Stern would be a good allegory as well, but
Kelly,
Senator Kelly, who he just doesn't trust the superhumans. But it's like, no, they're an allegory for gay people. So you hate gay people? It's like, No, I hate the idea of superhumans. And
well, to be fair, there's no good people in this story.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
That's why I love it, because I hate humanity.
Like most of human history, everyone is awful.
And I'm not
glad
okay
to enjoy it.
with that.
I'm okay with that. Everyone's awful. Honestly, this is what I always say: is that most people historically are awful.
I get it.
You can't let that weigh you down. The answer is more education, not less. So it's perfectly okay to look at a guy like Thomas Jefferson or even Christopher Columbus and say, oh, here's something they did. And then say, and here's also a million other things they did that was horrible. And then say, okay, well, I guess that one thing was kind of cool. And that actually opened other doors. But, all that other stuff, we should probably not forget that and just keep that in mind whenever we talk about them. That, yeah, they were objectively awful. Because most people were objectively awful in the past. That's the thing. And honestly, most people will probably be objectively awful in the human. We are the evil mirror universe. I don't know why people don't understand
there is no mirror universe. Only us.
Well, no, I think there's actually the good mirror universe. And then they're going to come to our universe. Like, you are so horribly twisted. We're like, what? We are? That's always the weird thing about, like, the evil mirror universe. We have to make them so comic bookly evil that it's like, oh, it's obvious to us how evil they are. But it's like,
we're the mirror universe. Look at that mustache.
That's mustache, Charlie.
Yeah, well, I mean, not for nothing. I'm the evil Charlie Esser, and I'm actually kind of nice. So I can't imagine how much nicer the real Charlie Esser is. So that's all I'm saying.
Mandela!
We are the evil mirror universe, and that's all there is to it. No, this predates CERN. Trust me, we were evil long before anyone split an atom.
We've just unlocked the door.
Yeah, it's like now CERN's going to just start releasing all these good people. They're like, oh, we're better than you in every conceivable way. We're kind and good and caring, and we've built, because of that, we've built much more advanced technology. And, it's sort of like the answer to the Fermi equation is like, no, every other alien race just sees us as a death world, and we're just like, stay away from that planet. That whole mostly harmless thing that we write about in our fantasy books, that's like our dream that we would be mostly harmless. No, every Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy says, Earth, avoid, danger, a bad place. Then, of course, yeah, exactly. All of the teenage aliens come and zoom us because I'm not afraid of humans. I'm going to zoom them. I'm going to abduct a few, anally probe them. And then, then we eat those aliens and steal their technology because that's what we as humans do.
That must be some strong apple juice.
I'm just saying.
I heard you wanted to talk some comic books, maybe?
Yes, let's go.
Does that make you happy? They make you happy, baby.
Yes, mommy. Let's talk some comic books.
Where do you want to start? It was a pretty decent week for comic books.
Comics Corner.
I don't know. Oh, Charlie, Lilith, did you read Amazing Spider-Man Sins Rising Prelude?
No, I don't. As a general rule, I don't read anything with the prelude in it when it's a comic book.
Well, they basically give you the origin of Sin Eater, which I don't know who was asking for that, but
I know. I was like, did we need that?
Was that a character before this? I mean, I'm guessing so because obviously they killed a person that was a person we knew about.
Well, he showed up. He was in 2 arcs back in Spectacular Spider-Man in the 80s, written by your friend, dumbass.
Yeah, Peter David. Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
I still respect him as a writer. I'm not going to argue it.
I mean that those 2 pages there. That's like from the story where he dies, and I think what is it, Spectacular Spider-Man 136 or something. I love how they reprint these pages, and they didn't even take out the next issue box. They just threw that.
Which I love because it's a clip, Phil. Didn't you get that? It was a clip.
I know, but they still had the next.
It was a clip from his past.
I was waiting for someone to say, "Oh, coming next to the tarantula." I wonder if that's a big clue. No, that was the next issue.
Well, you don't know. It might be a clue in some way. Who knows? Is the tarantula dead? Probably. Everyone said at some point.
But no, I mean, in Spectacular Spider-Man, that was literally the next issue.
Yes. No, but I appreciated that because I got that it was a clip. Yeah. But I mean, it was interesting. Just also this mythos of a Sin Eater, which I don't think is a thing, but sure, why not?
Yeah, Lilith. He literally runs into a Sin Eater as a kid. I'm like, really? Did we have
to? What is this, Arrow? What?
Yeah, I mean,
we're making the mythos work.
Yeah, his father dies. His mother was a drug addict, so he goes to live with the grandparents. Like out in the woods, he runs it. You know, he
the Ozarks were all evil dwells.
That's at Charlie Esser.
I'm like, did he have to meet a literal Sin Eater? Couldn't he just be like, oh, I know what a Sin Eater is?
Because we're stupid, Phil. We need an anvil dropped on our head every 3 pages.
And to be fair, Philip, Uncle Ben wants to make this story look interesting. So for all we know, this is all just Uncle Ben's weaving of the story so that we get the tale to convince the Sin Eater who and what he is.
Look at you pandering the little Hellfire.
I know. Well, I know what a little Hellfire is going to say if I say someone other than Uncle Ben. So I'm just going to say it's Uncle Ben, you know.
Mephisto.
Yeah. Well, or not Mephisto, as we've said. It could be Satan. Could be the real Satan who is missing from his throne.
Finally showing his face.
Again.
He just shows up. Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to come. Humans suck.
You were just sick of being the jailer. It's like, I'm like the freaking...
I'll let the inmates run the asylum. Who cares?
Well, you know, that was something they did in Elvira Goes to Hell, which is just that idea that Satan was like, I didn't want to be the jailer. I was God's second angel. I was the most high of all high. And you think I want to just sit around and watch humans who are wallowing in their own sin forever? No. It's like, I got put in charge of it, but I was like, I quit, dude. I'm on vacation. I'm going to Newark. I'm going to do good deeds. Because that's what Satan does on vacation.
I mean, like you brought up, Charlie. I mean, supposedly Johnny Blaze is in charge of hell and in Ghost Rider. You know,
he's an idiot.
We're idiot.
Well, I mean, idiot.
Well, he was hunting down demons. Demons had escaped hell, so that's what we were saying. Who is kindred? Somebody escaped hell.
Well, it's just the idea that, you know, hey, hell needs a ruler. Oh, hey, here's a drunk redneck. Here's a drunk redneck.
Can we try to do some democracy in hell? Maybe just maybe a little democracy in hell.
Honestly, I think that would make it too close to
too real for you. Too real for you.
Well, honestly, the idea that honestly, as I've said, that is the wizard's master plan. All of his clones, they all die. They all go to hell. They're all going to get together, form a massive voting block to sway.
Gerrymandering in hell, yes!
Because that's exactly what the wizard would do, man. He's like, so if all of my clones have souls, and all of my clones are evil, and all of my clones go to hell, that means that I could make a situation where 90% of the souls in hell were me.
He's gonna have to fight all those Otto Octavius.
Wait a minute, this isn't a super connectivity episode. Get out of here, Charlie.
I think that the wizard and Otto made the deal beforehand. And I think that was why Mephisto brought Otto back as himself, because like, oh god, give me Otto, give me an Otto. Which Otto? Just give me the first one. Bring him back. I'm gonna put him in this body. Those guys have worked out too many deals. They're smarter than me. Otto and the wizard are smarter than Mephisto. That's all I gotta say.
Bring me white suit Otto Octavius.
Exactly, the best Otto.
That is the best Otto. I'm not going to argue that. That was the best Otto.
Oh, yeah.
That was. He also, if you notice, he's wearing a girdle, or maybe he did a sit up at one point. But yeah,
It's okay for men to wear girdles. It's okay for men to wear makeup, because some of y'all need it. Don't be afraid.
We call them Manx now, Lilith.
Oh God. Oh, a brosier? Okay.
Yeah. No, there are male foundation garments now, Lilith.
There have been for quite a while. I won't say what celebrities use them because I know.
Well, they used to just wear girdles, but now they wear minks.
The Shatner.
Which is
exactly.
less. Yes. Honestly, yeah, girdle
Makes
is.
me the breastplate stretcher. Sorry.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll just be flowing. Oh, did anyone get any free comic book day issues? I know there was at least 2 out this week.
Oh, I haven't gotten to the comic book store because my car is dying.
Free comic book day, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Well, no. Well, the first one was good. It was a Spider-Man Black Cat story by. Yeah. Well, no, it was good because I believe it was written by that Jed McKay who's writing Jed McKay who's writing Black Cat right now. So.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. It was a decent issue because she even like brings up like that annual. She's like, oh, she starts calling him husband. He's like, no, that was a fake wedding. That's a fake wedding.
Okay, Felicity, calm down. I mean, Nissa, my fault. Nissa, calm down.
She didn't hijack anyone's wedding. Well,
they're all fake weddings until otherwise disproven.
And again, then there's 2 stories. The second story is a Venom story, and it kind of just like, it's almost like that Venom 25 Lilith. I mean, it's like the beginning, Eddie Brock's still talking to the Avengers, telling them that, that symbiote god is coming, and, Iron Man's like all mad, like, why didn't you come to us sooner? I'm like, it's Eddie Brock. You think you're talking to a deep thinker here?
Are they going to really do a cult story in the middle of the Empire story?
Events on top of events on top of events, Charlie. Haven't you been paying attention for the last 10 years?
It can't have turtles all the way down. Here's what I'm going to say. If you're going to do that, then you're going to have Cole eat the Cody.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, you got to break the mold. By the way, are the X-Men like totally going to be on the side of the Cody for some reason? Because they all like, oh, we have a living island and that's like plants. So yeah.
The Cody had some kind of vegetation that teleported them too, didn't they?
Yeah, well, plants are evil. We know.
What's going on over there?
I'm just saying and we know, and they were like, oh, they're going to be allied with the Kree. It's like, no, clearly, because now we know the Kree aren't the bad guys. The Skrulls aren't the bad guy. It's the Cody. Because plants, what I'm going to tell you is there's a writer at Marvel when he came out with this who like had a tree in his yard.
I bet he did.
That was like breaking his basement and busting his pipes. I have to tell you, the trees, man, the trees are destroying everything. And that's the thing.
No, that makes it all better. It's medicinal.
Sure, Lilith.
I'm just saying, it's like, I guarantee you, whoever is the overarching writer of this story, probably maybe Hickman, is like, the trees are evil.
He's had too much time in quarantine alone with his trees.
That Empire #2, Charlie, how many times could they fit in? But you were the Avengers, baby! But you were the Avengers, baby!
I did not even... Wasn't that the guy who, like, did unsavory things with Captain Marvel? I don't know.
What? No.
Who's it with the what now?
As far as Avengers babies, it's like...
Wasn't it Mantis and Swordsman's kid?
It was Mantis and Swordsman's kid, but... Yeah. I mean, honestly, to say that Mantis and Swordsman were the Avengers is...
That's a loose and generous title, to be sure.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, because, you were the Avengers, baby. Why? Because Thor met you once? It's like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, really, and not for nothing, like, wasn't this Swordsman, like, a villain originally? Isn't he one of the original Masters of Evil?
You
like, I know that he like knew Hawkeye. That's like saying like one of the clowns at the circus that knew Dick Grayson was really actually a good guy at the end of the day.
Nice.
By the way, do we think that Aunt Harriet was the tattooed lady? It was a discussion we were having recently in one of the boards I'm on about,
I want to know what boards Charlie's on.
It was actually the Batman 66 board, which honestly, man, you get those classic television boards, there are so many retro, just like really weird people on those boards that like have very outdated views of things. It's like as if nostalgia meant that you had views from the time that the art was created. Which is weird.
Remember what you said about nostalgia? It used to be a mental condition.
Yeah,
so.
I know, but it's kind of weird because it's like, it's like if you like classical music, it doesn't mean that you burn witches.
Fetch me my powdered wig, boy.
I'm just saying, it's like you can like enjoy art that is from an era without adopting the prejudices and fears of that era. That's what I'm saying. But but no, because Harriet Cooper is technically, what's his name, Dick's aunt on his mother's side. I believe it's on his mother's side, and so, but she was probably circus people too. Then, so
I would assume.
So what was her job in the circus?
Her last name isn't Grayson, so I'd assume it's her mother's son.
Well, no, because she married a Cooper.
Get married, yeah.
So she could have been, Grayson's brother, but that would have meant that she would have been if she was a flying Grayson, she would have been a Grayson. You know what I mean?
True.
So since she's not a Grayson, she must have been Mrs. Grayson's sister, but they were also circus people. So
circus people get with other circus people because that's not a very easy life if you're not.
You travel a lot. So if you don't want a long distance relationship, you marry, one of the people, which is actually what we got.
And they're very distrustful of outside people too. On top of that, like it's a whole thing and a culture about it. So yeah,
exactly.
Especially
And we got in Gotham that Dick's mom's family was from the clown side. And Dick's father's family was from the aerialist side, and that there was a lot of tension between them, and which is why I actually think that Harriet Cooper was probably a tattooed lady, and she married Admiral Cooper, who was a Navy man, and that's why we always see her. We never see Aunt Harriet in a bikini. Because she's got a lot of tattoos.
If we made it now, we got Aunt May's Marissa Tomei. I'm telling you, it could happen.
I know, but I'm just saying. But if we did, then
you throw that out there for your theory. You write that script, Charlie. It could get made.
My headcanon is Harriet Cooper, who's a widow. Her husband was Admiral Cooper. She was the tattooed lady. The ships on her hips made his heart skip a beat. He fell in love with her. Went on to a grand adventure, and then when she found out that her son had been adopted by some rich pedophile, she said, I'm going to go, well, not her son.
The P word? We'll get the
her nephew.
YouTube.
I'm sorry.
Like we're going to make money on
Look,
YouTube.
Lilith, if your nephew got adopted by a rich recluse in a mansion, you wouldn't want to say, let me see what's going on with this.
Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe she got there's okay. It's cool. I'm still gonna stick around though.
Charlie, that's the apple juice talking.
I'm just saying. No, look.
It is a suspicious circumstance. I will give you that.
Yeah, it's a billionaire adopts your nephew. It is a.
Well, it's technically adopt him. He's just his ward because that's the whole thing. Yeah. Like, because he says, "Why did you adopt me, Daddy?"
Yeah, they retconned that, didn't they? Or didn't they eventually have him?
Well, he actually adopts him when he's an adult, I'm assuming.
Yeah, which is so he can leave him his fortune easier. Yeah,
so he can inherit.
That's like a whole tax loophole thing, guys.
That's a whole joke in my script for Velocity, Velocity is where Zip the Boy Wonder says, "Well, no, I'm a ward. I'm not adopted." So I was like, I have a trust fund. We can live a decent life, but it's not like I have enough that I could go superheroing on my own if I wasn't associated with the Blue Gargoyles. So it's a good story, man. I really gotta
pitch it to NBC's comic book division.
I gotta find out how you do these things, man.
All right, I gave everyone
hope. Let's talk about Daredevil because I know Phil has been frothing at the mouth about it.
I don't know why he didn't open with it. Of course, I read it.
Because you made us. He's like, everybody read Daredevil. He gave us homework, guys.
That's my pick of the week. So
it was a good book.
It was definitely the best Marvel book, to be sure.
I do enjoy the idea of legal precedent in this.
Mm-hmm.
And this idea that they're obliged to keep his identity a secret because it was determined superhero, which does not make any sense.
I mean, they kind of set that up. It might have been Charles Soule, but yeah, they had set that up in a previous one.
Yeah, I mean, actually, no. Really, no. It predates him. It predates him because when I forget who did the first She-Hulk run, where they did when they first introduced Mallory Book. That's where they said that actually it was already established that superheroes could testify.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually predates Soule. No, trust me, I actually think Soule would have probably said, that doesn't make any sense that any court of law would accept this. But the fact that precedent was set by non-lawyers meant that you had to accept it, which, ironically enough, is actually true of real law, because you don't have to be a lawyer to become a judge and ascend to a Supreme Court and then make law. So, fun fact. But so because that was where we first established the idea of the Comics Code Authority establishing comic book lore as law, and also suggested the idea that superheroes could testify in their own, because of course you had to establish the idea that this was who it was. And I don't think Soule would have accepted the idea that you could just say, well, I have powers, because clearly there's 100 people with the exact same powers as everyone. So Spider-Man could testify as Daredevil. Well, look at this backflip I did. Well, first off, do we even know that Daredevil does backflips? You know, what is the criteria by which we judge who Daredevil is? You know. So anyway,
I just don't
ask him to kiss a girl and see if she dies. How about that?
Well, they both kind of do.
But I don't know if that's well documented, though. That's the problem.
But I just, why is this one? I mean, I know it's horrible, but it's like, why is this one murder like the one Matt Murdock is just like obsessing on? I mean, like you said, Lilith. I mean, he's got enough bodies on his tab. It's like, why is this one all of a sudden?
Can we just talk about why every single modern run of Daredevil we have to reveal his identity? Like, is that like in the contract now? Is that an editorial mandate?
I think it goes even further back. It's like, starting with Frank Miller, at least every other arc, it just seems like the writer's just like, oh yeah, let's see how much crap I can put Daredevil through.
Well, yeah, I mean, and this one it's done better, to be sure. I'm just saying that's just what it feels like.
What I kind of think it is just this idea that it's always stupid when they say his identity isn't revealed. And we're in an era now where secret identities are kind of have to be grandfathered in.
Yeah.
So when you have someone who's had his identity revealed multiple times.
Again, mind wipes.
Yeah, it's just like...
well, no, this one was the purple.
No, I know.
Yeah, this was the purple one. Well,
give it time. Every time, it doesn't matter.
Give it time, Lilith. Give it time. Uncle Ben could show up.
Hey, isn't there a Daredevil one more day coming?
Yeah, there is.
That's what I've been thinking about.
As I recall, we discussed this. So,
I love how this works as both a to wrap things up and a palate cleanser. So it's like an epilogue and a palate cleanser all in one.
Yeah.
Well, but now we have to go to the legal battle, and it would be nice if we get a real legal battle. And I get the idea.
He's a lawyer, not that they remember to make him a good lawyer.
Well, he was never a good lawyer, Lilith. That's the thing you have to remember about this. He was never a good lawyer. He was a lawyer. You don't have to be a good lawyer to be a lawyer. That's one thing I learned from Boston Legal is that there are a lot of bad lawyers.
Protagonist. That might just be me. I don't know.
But so here's the thing: is like. Now we're going to get... So here's the thing. You can have the idea of certain witness testimony not being publicized. Because the rule is you have to be able to face your accuser. And now that's going to be an Now, it comes into these very complex questions about facing your accuser, what that means to face your accuser, yada, yada, yada. Although that's actually on the defendant's side. So really, the idea that they're keeping the person who is being accused of the crime's identity secret is actually in keeping with most law. So as you break it down, that idea that this, and the fact that the prosecutor demands to know who he is before he allows him to go forward with this, actually makes sense. Because the idea is that no, someone has to know who this is. Have to know that we're convicting the right person.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, what they're having is this person has confessed to this crime, but they are requesting anonymity for their trial, in the sense that they are willing to accept the consequences of this trial, and because superheroes can now testify, they are willing to, and I think it was a Spider-Man comic where this law was established, but anyway, that's just a whole other side note. I get the feeling that there is a quality of it that we're going to get a nice drawn-out legal battle in the next couple issues. Are there going to be more issues, or is this the last one?
What do you mean last issue?
I don't know. They stop people. They put in new writers and artists next week, and then now we're completely throwing that all out.
Okay. No, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. At least till issue 25.
Yeah, Lilith said it might be it's a jumping off point and a jumping on point.
Not until they one more day.
Well, just in between that particular arc, like I said, it's like a prologue and a palate cleanser, because I like a lot of the dynamics in it.
I imagine the next few issues will be this discussion
mm-hmm.
of the actual crime. What was the crime that Daredevil, as a citizen, committed? Because essentially, it comes down to this very interesting question so if I see a robber and I tackle them and I kill them because they were running away from a robbery, does that mean that I'm guilty of the crime, or does that just mean? And I'm assuming I froze there.
No.
Okay. Does that mean I'm guilty of murder, or does that just mean I am guilty of knocking over somebody and them dying? Meaning, and that's the idea, is that his argument is going to be, yeah, I run around in my long johns and I punch people, but the person that I was punching was committing a crime, and that mitigating circumstance is that I did not murder a person. I simply committed what is the unlawful act? Which is a weird thing to say. Like, when someone dies because of your actions, what is the unlawful act? You can say grave indifference, but you can't really argue grave indifference because it was it was an underlying condition that caused his death.
Mm-hmm.
It's in its own way a really kind of uncomfortable conversation about when police use too much force.
Exactly.
But then again, police are, by their nature,
trained.
The thing is the difference is that police are, of course, employed by the state and are bound by rules, which is why they have all these restrictions. Well, yeah, fair enough. They're supposed to be bound by these rules. And it's
maybe the superheroes have to set up qualified immunity for themselves. Maybe that's the answer in this. Maybe that's where Chip Zdarsky's going. I don't know.
Or maybe they don't, and that's kind of the point. Maybe you shouldn't have all this leeway because you're making this choice to be a vigilante. It's a very because of course
you're going to have insurance and.
At the core of the argument is, should vigilantism be illegal? And that's the question. And it's a different question in a world with supervillains. That's the thing. But then again, actually, what I would have much more... Here's what I'm going to say. What would be a great arc for this? The best possible arc for this is Daredevil being acquitted and then applying to the police academy.
Ooh.
Get a little Dick Grayson style up in here.
Well, hey, or Steve Rogers, just freaking just say, you know what? I want to fight crime because that's the world I live in. I have superhuman abilities.
But he's blind, so he's not going to pass the physical.
He's not really blind, though. He's like, oh, no, I got radar sense. That means I'm not really blind. What?
Is he going to be able to see the letters on the eye test with that?
Oh,
that's what I'm asking.
You can use your fingers.
Whoa. Oh, but my favorite thing about my favorite thing about this book is a Striper shout out. Like, yes. What? Did anybody else catch that?
No.
The Striper shout out? Okay. I'm the only nerd in here. That's fine.
Them's fighting words, love. Okay, I didn't see where they mentioned Striper in this. Are you talking about the Christian heavy metal band or
what?
I'm sorry, glam rock. Striper was technically glam rock.
What?
Striper! You said Striper? What, you guys don't remember Striper?
No.
They were a Christian glam rock band from the 80s. I know I've met members of I met one member. I met their drummer once because he runs a recording studio in Wayne County where I recorded a demo once years ago. And yeah.
Charlie Esser was a rock star. World Hellfire was a cheerleader. I don't know what's going on.
I was never a rock star.
I don't know.
He's aspiring.
I recorded a nice track because I've got a good singing voice and I fancied myself a singer, but I lived in Michigan and there's no place to. I mean, there are actually a lot of places.
I'm not
to
a
sing in
fancy
Michigan, but you know, honestly, making a career as a musician is hard, and I did not have the opportunities that other people often get. And that's not to say that they are better than me or worse than me, or that I envy them for the opportunities that appear to them. I just did not have those opportunities. I had other opportunities, which I have managed to parlay into a life for myself and my family. So,
but Lilith, what was the Striper reference?
Oh, I forget the page now. I don't have the book on me, but it was in there.
Okay.
Okay, so is there a superhero, supervillain named
No.
Striper?
I didn't know that they were considered Christian rock, I guess. So
so we are talking about the same band,
yeah.
Striper. Okay. Striper's totally Christian. They were all like, all their songs are like about revelations and stuff. So
is it when he says you're not my moral authority?
Oh, Philip.
Spider-Man? I don't know.
Possibly. But yeah, no, Striper was a Christian rock band from the 80s. Christian rock's been around for a long time.
Like glam rock, yes, I totally get it. But Christian rock, I was like, okay, sure.
Well, I mean, it's Christian. They were a very Christian band, at least from a lot of their qualities.
From their early stuff, okay.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I mean, what I will say, is that they are known for being very Christian and having a lot of Christian iconography in their works.
Oh, but I want to shout out.
I mean, there's a lot of Christians in this world, so it kind of makes sense. So.
Yeah.
At least in the United States, which is where they were based.
Michael Cicchetto artwork is amazing, though. I really enjoyed the artwork on this. It's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, the art on this is amazing. Yeah, like when he's suiting up and stuff. And
yes, he's got a quarantine beard going on. That's nice.
That's no quarantine beard.
No, that is a drunken, drug-addled
quarantine beard. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's honestly, Daredevil's had better days. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Not without supervision.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a Daredevil Jr. they're going to introduce at the end of this.
Whoa!
Well, they just introduced Typhoid Mary as like a hero character. So.
That is so like.
Well, I mean,
that's so much to deal with.
I mean,
just don't dig it.
She has so many mental issues. She has multiple personalities.
And he created her, so it's just like he's the reason she is the way she is.
Who, Daredevil? No, he didn't.
Push her out that window and she cracked her head and bipolar. Yes, he created Typhoid Mary.
Okay, I forgot about that. You're right.
That's how it goes sometimes.
He was this nice, innocent little prostitute, and he just accidentally pushed.
Hey, man, That's what you get for busting in on a brothel. You can't stop nobody's money, man. Don't you kink shame them. Who's he? Who is he?
He was hunting his father's killers.
Wah, man pain. Wah.
Finish him.
Anyway, so that was the best Marvel book in my opinion. Closely followed by X-Men and Fantastic Four #4.
Ooh.
I don't know. This needs to be the movie. This needs to be the movie that actually opens up Phase 4. That's all I'm saying. I know that's not gonna happen, but it could get it. X-Men and Fantastic Four, one movie.
Charlie,
Phase 4. Phase 4. Can we end Phase 4 on this?
Charlie Esser is convinced that the end of this issue proves that these are bad clones and not the real X-Men.
Well, yeah, because the whole, I mean, honestly, it's all bad. I mean, no, what here's what I'll say is that Charles Xavier has definitely gone to the dark side in this.
I mean, officially, like out in the open, yes, he's always kind of been a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, and he kind of like implies that he always has been a bad guy in this. Because he's like, you know that thing.
He likes to flirt with young girls and mess with their minds.
Well, the idea is he sort of suggests here, I've always been a bad guy
that does unscrupulous things with his money.
Yeah.
Epstein?
I mean, I understand that, and I get that, but I also get the idea that he's kind of wants to say, I've always been evil. I've removed stuff from your mind 100 times before, and you just don't remember it. And I kind of feel like that's the line he crosses in this. Because, and again, as I've said, it goes completely against stuff he had said in the Illuminati. Because I don't think he can really wipe stuff out of Mr. Fantastic's rubber brain. I think that rubber brain is going to bounce back. He's going to get it, and then that's going to be the big turnaround at the end of Empire after the plant X-Men have joined up with the Coty, because they're all plants now, and that's going to be the big reveal. No, we joined with the Coty because we're plants too, and the Coty were like, yeah, totally, you guys are obviously plants.
Oh no,
humans don't know you're plants. It's like, no, we're totally plants. And then it's going to be like, and Reed's going to say, yeah, well, when you said you would have done this if we were in the Illuminati, I knew that because you had said you specifically couldn't do that back then, and you would know that my brain works on a different level than most human brains, and that's why you didn't do it, and that's why I've rebuilt the turn your mutant powers off button, so zoop, 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 zoop. Now you're all destroyed. Let's free the real X-Men. And they're going to say, you had us working with freaking Mr. Sinister? Why would we work with Sinister? He is literally sinister. And that's going to be how the story ends.
So what we're doing? So we're doing Secret Invasion, but with plants instead of Skrulls?
Well, no, the Secret Invasion was Krakoa.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, now we're doing plants instead of Skrulls.
Well, yeah, except that the plants aren't replacing humans. It's that basically what I'm saying is all the mutants on Krakoa are plants.
Yeah.
And so when the Coty show up, they're gonna be like, "Oh, dude, okay, we can work with you guys. And they're gonna say, "Yeah, we can work with you too. Say, "Oh, by the way, don't tell our plant X-Men that they're plants because they don't know." Like, Kitty Pryde doesn't know because she's like the one that we couldn't duplicate. And again, central to the X-Men story here, where it's like, she's like the one person that Doom can manipulate, and also the one person that can rise above. It's great the way the whole Kitty Pryde arc works in this. But yeah, Doom is just awful. And although, fun fact, a callback to the Earth's Mightiest Avengers, the Earth's Mightiest Hero story of Secret Invasion, where Doom was the one guy who knew what was going on. Doom was the one guy who realized, Coty, plant, Skrulls replacing people. I had to figure out which one of you guys was the Skrull. I'm not going to tell you because I'm Doom and I'm played by Curtis Armstrong, and I will not allow anyone else.
You run your campaign however you need to.
Curtis Armstrong is the one man who can do justice to Doom. Mark my words.
Mark my words.
Oh, I gotta shout out Boom Studios real quick because it's Power Rangers. So Power Rangers Ranger Slayer #1 came out. Kimberly Hart, aka the Pink Ranger from the alternate universe, is back, and things about to go down. So I'm like super happy. Although we do need more Yellow Ranger stories. Just saying. Just saying.
Male or female Yellow Ranger?
Original OG Trini.
Okay. So the female Yellow Ranger.
Yeah.
Because the original Yellow Ranger is male.
Well, yeah, from the Super Sentai show, but I'm talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the actual, American adaptation.
And I'm not going to get into the hot mess.
America, because that's what counts.
I'm not even going to get into the hot mess that's Joker War, because...
Thank you! Thank you! I told you I'm not...
Start?
Yeah.
That started, and it's not going to be over with for quite a while.
I mean, I just don't know how everything fits together, because it's like...
It doesn't, because it's the Joker.
I know, but it's like Detective Comics is like, I guess, a prequel to what's going on in Batman, fine, but Joker's running around everywhere. But then, meanwhile, in Batgirl, when he attacks Barbara Gordon, I mean, this issue ends with her like...
Isn't that kind of played out at this point?
Well, I guess she gets her revenge, because, I mean, she, like, eventually, like, stabs him in the back, because they're, like, both, like, I guess, like...
Unless he's paralyzed for, like, a whole freaking continuity, then it's not fair.
But I'm like, he's running around in every other book. How is he, like, in this book with a metal bar through his back?
Because there's two other Jokers, Philip. Have you been paying attention?
Three Jokers is the clone. I'm kidding. That's not the plot.
Poor Lilith.
I would never.
Well, to be
that
fair,
would be rude.
To be fair, since they did the latest reboot where Harley went into the chemicals, it's implied that chemicals also give them some kind of semi-superhumanity, super soldiery
kind of
stuff.
Like Clayface and all those other guys who got those industrial accidents. Yeah. It's something in that Gotham water when it mixes with chemicals, I tell you.
Honestly, it's one of these weird things where it's like, oh yeah, the chemical vat causes superpowers.
Because we can't mention bang babies anymore.
It's just weird because it's one of these things where it's like, wow, wouldn't that be like a whole scientific division? Okay, let's figure out what's in here. Let's figure out why it causes powers. Well, I mean, not even OSHA. It just needs people that say, oh, gee, this, as an example, there was a great story in She-Hulk. This was the middle round of She-Hulk, where they first introduced Kurtzberg, Lieber, and the other guy. Where there's this whole story arc about Dan Germain, who fell into a vat at Roxxon Chemicals and came out superhuman. And there's this whole thing where it's like, this is the water from that vat he fell in. Everyone just starts drinking the water because, like, oh my gosh, that's one of the magic waters that gives you superpowers. Because immediately, if you said, oh wow, that caused superpowers, it would be practical that you'd now want to figure out how that caused superpowers, so that you could either market a new way to give superpowers cheap and easy, or something else,
Again, it's Gotham. It's either people get paid off not to ask questions, or they end up at the bottom of the river.
I think that's a limited argument to make.
Oh,
say, it's Chinatown, Jack. It's Chinatown. Forget about it, Jake. It's like, no. It's like it's still a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question.
Men, Charlie.
People are afraid.
Men.
People are afraid to ask it.
I suppose so.
I mean, you think it's a normal town that lets a Batman run around? Come on.
I am so mad that I'm mad that Harley Quinn isn't on Sci-Fi yet.
Oh, I thought it was
because they said they would release that on Sci-Fi so that I could watch it.
Oh, well, it's coming to HBO Max.
Yeah, except now I don't know what's going on with HBO Max. This is the whole thing. I'm mad that I can't see it anywhere, and it's like I want to see drunken Jim Gordon.
Me, matey.
Get that.
I heard you talking about, and we don't do NordVPN. We do shark surf in this house, just as a friendly tip.
Okay, whatever. Whatever, Lilith.
All right, Felicity Smoke.
I only know the people that like pay for it
from an iPad. Okay. Hashtag never forget.
But yeah, Charlie would love Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I would love Harley Quinn. I'd love to watch it, but you know,
one day your Harley will come.
Yeah, it's like
yeah. Lilith, Batman.
I'm already giving Warner's money. I'm giving Warner's a lot of money because I have an AT&T phone. It's like, give me your freaking content, Warner's.
Give me.
I'm paying you through the nose every month. My whole family's on your phone plan. We got the unlimited data. We've got everything running through you guys. Give me the freaking content. I don't think that's too much to ask.
It's growing pains. I'm sorry if you're going through it, Charlie. They don't know what they're doing over there. That's why I feel like I should start a Kickstarter fund to save DC from Warner Time Media, whatever the heck conglomeration.
Yeah, I might need your help on that. Yeah.
You know, the ironic thing is,
it's time.
To help me
in the 90s, you could have done that, or the 80s, you could have done that. That's how that guy wound up owning Batman. Some guy at DC owns Batman.
Well, that was more like the 70s, I thought.
Batman.
But yeah, he owns, and he's like the producer of every Batman film. That's why Batman's all grimdark now. He's like, yeah, Batman's always grimdark. It's like,
well, no, that's directly a DC thing. he just gets his kickback. He's not an actual producer. He just gets kickbacks on the money. Yeah,
Lilith, help me set up the Kickstarter. We'll get this done.
So what do we want to do? We want to do Indiegogo. We want to do Kickstarter. We want to do what?
I don't care.
I say, here's what I'm going to say. If we really wanted to do something, we should find someone that can draw and just create our own comic book company. That would be my recommendation. If they're trying to buy one of these big, rocks of Gibraltar, just finding someone among our many people who can draw, who would like to draw our
Kurt
stories.
Manley busy? Somebody get Kurt Manley on the phone.
That's not going to make headlines. I want to see headlines. Mouthy nerds say, DC, we know what's best for you.
Yes, well,
Yeah, we do it for the headlines and the lulls around here, Charlie. We don't say we're like the Joker. We wouldn't know what to do if it actually happened.
Yeah.
But I promise you, I wouldn't burn that cat.
Matt Pat is a whole
That was a great Matt Pat video this week. By the way, are you tuned into Food Theory yet? Because I am.
I can't find it yet.
Okay, so I subscribed. You have to dig through it, and it's on the side.
I gotta figure it out.
Yeah,
I want to find it.
The Kool-Aid Man. I'm here for it because it's Marvel. I figured you might be into it.
No, I'm totally into it. Yeah, I absolutely saw it. And here's the thing he did not mention. We only see the cash burning for a few moments.
Exactly.
Cash doesn't burn that fast. So, after he sets it on fire, his men, and the guy runs out, the men could have just totally, yeah, call it. That was, we just had to do the scene. Scene's done. Get that money out of there.
Exactly.
Because when you think about it, all of those other pyramids that's like another $1 billion on top of it. So, yeah. But no, I want to find Food Theory. I can't get to it.
Yeah.
Weren't they throwing gasoline?
He said Joker was a billionaire. That was his
gasoline or something on it?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Charlie, yes, I had to poop. No.
Do you know what? You don't watch Matt Pat, obviously. Yeah. No. He does some really good DC theory stuff. And so this week's video was about the Joker's a billionaire. And it's about all the money that he stole from the bank robberies and the mob bosses, and how Joker's actually the most sanest person in the whole Batman universe. He's very cold and calculating, and that scene proves it because it's all for show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Matt Pat does really good work. I enjoy his theories. More his film theories than his food theory, because his game theories, I don't like Five Nights at Freddy's. So.
Okay, while I can get a word in edgewise, what are they doing with that new bat suit?
Is it a new thing, or is it just temporary?
It just showed up.
I don't like it. Nobody likes it.
Well, he didn't put it on yet. It just showed up in Batman 95, and he's like, "Oh, Lucius, did you build this?" Like, no, he didn't. And I guess they're hinting around.
Joker built it for him. It's his love present.
I guess they're hinting around that Alfred maybe made it before he died because
But he's not bad as we know. So it's like, where is he? Is it a clone?
I don't know, but they just been kind of hinting around that maybe before he died, Alfred was like basically he wanted Bruce.
Are we reintroducing Julia Pennyworth? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know if we're gonna do like a kinder, gentler Batman. I don't know. Yeah, I know.
Like
we have that.
Go over and have a word with Superman about that.
We have a kinder, gentler Batman. It's Dick Grayson. Thank you.
With a better butt.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with DC right now. Let me know when Joker War's over.
Oh, you're not. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of boycotting them until Joker War's over.
Well, Batman 95 came out this week, so I mean it's going to at least issue 100. So.
And why should I care about Batman 100? I made it to Detective 1000, so
Well, that's what I said before. They keep saying like, "Oh, the final battle between Batman and Joker." I'm like, yeah, okay, sure.
They're never gonna get rid of the Joker. Like they tried, and it didn't stick.
They did get rid of the Joker. Yeah, it's
a wildly popular movie. I mean, like,
well, if you want to call that a Joker movie, fine.
They are. Their eyes, it is.
I swear, if I hear Arthur Fleck one more time in a discussion board, I'm gonna burn Facebook's
Would you rather see
headquarters
Jack
down.
Napier, Lilith? Would you rather?
Yes, I would prefer Jack Napier. I think we all would, except for these newfangled kids.
Yeah.
These newfangled kids.
Are we all right? I'm trying not to get too spoilery. Lilith and Three Jokers. Are we going to get some kind of different origin?
I don't know. I think people that like Punchline are gonna like the Punchline people are gonna love Three Jokers.
Oh, you just broke Charlie Esser's heart.
And I think the theorists, I've seen some really good theories that are very close to what Three Jokers is. They're not the most popular theories about Three Joker, but I'm just saying some fans got it right.
Oh.
So, and I just can't believe they pushed it. So no, I just can't believe they pushed it. Like it's ready. Stop teasing us. You've been teasing us forever. You're making everybody hate it.
I know. I'm just like, this thing better be the Mona freaking Lisa the way they.
And it's not.
Yeah, I know exactly. It's like you're just making people are going to be crapping on it more the more you push it back.
Put it to you this way: it would have been better as an animated movie in that previous DCAU that just got done than it is as a comic book. And that's just my personal opinion.
Now you broke my heart.
You get the feeling that maybe that was their original intention, and then it just fell.
Honestly, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, because I mean, I
don't know.
Honestly,
I think Jeff Johns threw out a line in that Justice League issue, and then everyone was like, "What's the Three Jokers? What's the Three Jokers?" And they're like, "Oh crap, we got to rate this now."
Well, they should have. I think they had every intention, and then like editorial, staffs like, "Well, no, we can't do this," and no, then we have to hype that. I think they wanted it after the Joker War for whatever reason. It was supposed to be before, it seems like, but now they want it after because maybe people will be disappointed with Joker War, and that'll get people back on the Joker hype train. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
I would imagine the exact opposite. But okay.
Joker fans are going to be Joker fans.
I mean, there's been something Joker in the comics every month since that movie came out.
Yeah.
Well, honestly,
if I hear Arthur Fleck in a comic book, I'm going to rage.
Oh, well, the Three Joker. I mean, okay. Well, I guess
there's only one Arthur in the DC universe, and that is Arthur Curry. Thank you, and good night.
But I'm sure we're gonna get an Arthur Fleck, or I guess maybe not because Lilith knows, and so I'm an idiot. But I would imagine we get an Arthur Fleck and a Jack Napier, and then a third person, whoever the third person was supposed to be. Because I know there was a third guy who was just the actual stand-up comic, the schlub guy. So
Lilith, it has nothing to do with Dr. Manhattan, does it?
What? Why would you say that name? That's a terrible idea, Philip. How dare you?
But I just Martha.
Okay, so obviously it's Wally West is the third Joker. So okay.
I didn't say say that. I was
You
just
did not
joking.
say it, Lilith, but you know.
It's the third Joker swinging his dong. Oh, come on.
There are no eggs in that book for Watchmen TV show fans. There are no eggs in that book.
But I can't say dong.
Dong is a medical term.
I'm just gonna say it is
I'm
sad
just gonna say
that
it's a mess, but some people are gonna totally love the hot train wreck of a mess and what it could potentially mean if they actually go ahead and say it's canon, which they're not. Spoilers.
well, that's
Well,
Lilith,
unless it sells enough.
Depending how popular it is. Yeah.
Because here in DC, everything's canon and nothing matters. That is our slogan. Hashtag deal with it.
yeah. Anyway,
And on that negative note,
On that note, Lilith Hellfire's whiskey IV is running out.
On that,
vodka, Philip, vodka.
Okay, down in your arrow
she
cave.
does not drink brown liquors.
Down in her arrow cave. All right, so yes, send us your thoughts. I'm sure we'll get more Comic-Con news between now.
It's my invisible jet, by the way, because Wonder Woman, she don't let you down. She's keeping the whole DCEU afloat on her damn shoulders.
Oh,
No argument there. I mean, honestly.
Did you hear? I guess they're looking to cast the Hawkman for the Black Adam movie.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. No comment.
I mean, I guess that works. Yeah, Hawkman. Because
Go ahead, throw it in.
the Hawks worked so well in live action the last time.
there was only one good Hawkman, and that was Brian Blessed. So we will just leave that at that.
All right. So, yes. So, send us your thoughts on Comic-Con news, TV, movies, comics. Tell us about the Marvel judicial system. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Patreon, where we're talking all things Star Trek.
New Star Trek, by the way, cartoon coming out on Nickelodeon.
We know. Yep. Didn't you watch Super Connectivity?
I did most of it.
Yes.
Hopefully, no one gets car stuck in them.
Well, not the Nickelodeon one. They aren't.
Against their will.
I don't know. That Ninja Turtles show got pretty dark. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, they'll say that for Lower Decks. But anyway.
You just stuck your car in me? What are you doing?
You just stuck your car on my lower deck.
Whoa.
Anyway, so yes.
I eat dinner first.
Whoa. Fine. Anyway, find links to everything all in one convenient place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics, and no one tell Rob. And remember to support the sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt-A-Killer. Go get that Hunt-A-Killer. Pod Life, the book, now in digital and paperback. And when you buy that on all that and more on Amazon, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help support the show, this network, and the Emperor Has No Pants, Rob, Master Doom, Southgate.
Make it rain. So says Master Doom. Yeah.
Lilith.
You know what? Whenever we can actually see each other again, when we get together, I am going to get a Hunt-A-Killer the first month, and we're going to solve the first mystery.
Yes! Michelle Gray needs our help.
Yes.
I have one condition, only if we can have Mothman Zor act it out.
We'll have
Maz
to get him
is
on the
always down
phone.
to travel.
Maz
So whenever this is over, maybe 2022, we will be hunting a killer live.
In Florida.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Mothman Zor is my Meryl Streep.
But if you guys want to hang out with me and help me plan that for 2022 or 2020 never, you guys can find me on Twitter @LilithHellfire or on Instagram @LilithHellfire69. You can also find me @LilithHellfire86. Pickle.
Charlie Ether.
Well, if you'd like to write me in that old-fashioned email way the way Maz and Paz once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet all the feels of the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. At Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIEESSCR. Look for the 2 E's in the middle for quality. Thank
More
you,
like
Mons.
boing.
And thank you, Tristan. He was in perfect harmony on that. I love that. And that was all improvised.
If you want Tristan just to record your drops, I can send it to me. I'll just hit the button every time.
I like doing it different every time.
I
like to change it up. That's what makes it magical.
Give me like 5. I'll mix it up.
Okay.
Just have a Charlie Esser drop page. All right, everyone. For another week. That's right. 2 more weeks until 169.
Do your homework.
Do your 69 homework. For another week, we've been your capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics.
We are the comic book podcast. Just like some people.
That CBR loves to steal from.
Oh!
I got Twitter beef.
By the way, I'm just throwing this out there. Captain America 269. Believe that's the first appearance of Team America.
I believe so.
Well, you're more than welcome to discuss it, sir.
So much.